Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about the sponsor for this show, which is Aura. And I want to let you know that I'm a reporter in my day job, and I use the internet every single day to find people, many people who would rather not be found. And you would be literally shocked if you Googled your own name, maybe using your middle name as well to filter out some results, but you would be shocked of how much of your personal information is already readily accessible online. Your phone number, your home address, your email address. There is a ton of information out there if you search for it. And the reason why is because there are data brokers out there who profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, people like that who want to learn more about you. And that's why I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura identifies who those data brokers are that are exposing your personal information, and they automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. They'll even opt you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. So I'd like you guys to use our link. It's aura.com, aura.com/teamhouse to try 2 weeks and see how many data brokers are sharing your information. The link is also down in the description, and there's a QR code that you can scan if you like. So please check them out. You'll get 2 weeks for free. Again, I think you would be totally shocked to find out how much of your personal information is already out there. So go ahead, do a Google search on your own and see what's out there. And if you don't like how much of your personal information is out there, I highly suggest you check out aura.com/teamhouse to try it for 2 weeks free and see if they can help get your information private again. That's aura.com/teamhouse to get 2 weeks for free.
The Team House with your hosts, Jack Murphy and David Park.
So while you're involved in this entrepreneurial effort, you're starting your vitamin one company. Somewhere along this time frame, you get contacted by Carlos Ghosn or his people. How did that come about for you?
Ooh, I never heard of him before. No, just okay.
It's not what I read in the newspapers.
Yeah, well, you can't believe everything you read. Well, it's funny. I was bitter from the judicial system that I went through because I was pissed off about it. How many criminals, if you're really a criminal, offer to take a polygraph?
Right.
And then they say, well, we can't, use that in court. It's not admissible. Bullshit. Use it as an investigative tool.
Right.
Come on, hook me up. I didn't do anything wrong. Hook me up. No, not doing it. Anyways, so I had a bad taste in my mouth about that. And then I get a call from a guy that's saying, hey, we need some help. Can you help us get somebody out of somewhere? Okay. Yeah, sure. When you want it done? Tonight? 5 o'clock? Yeah, no problem. That's literally, can you help us get somebody out of somewhere? I don't know. What are you talking about? So I found out that there were two couples that I know over, I don't know if it was in Amman, Jordan, or in Beirut, Lebanon, that were talking. And one of the wives said to the other three, if my husband was ever kidnapped, I'd call Mike Taylor because he would get him back for me. That's how the person said, oh, I know him. I can call him. So that person called me and said, hey, we've got this problem. Anyways, I said, you got to give me more information, Next day, he gave me more information. He told me this guy, Carlos Ghosn, he's over in Japan. He got set up. He's being tortured. He's out right now, but he's being tortured. They held him for 22 days. Then they charge him with another crime so they can hold him for another 22 days. And then after 44 days go, they charge him with another crime just to jerk him. And they keep him in solitary confinement. And, he's got to sleep on the floor. And he only gets 2 showers a week, so on and so forth. Okay. And then I met his wife, was a very nice lady. And of course she was distraught over it. It's her husband's over there. And one of the things that really got under my skin about this is that the Japanese court told Carlos, you're not even allowed to speak to your wife. That's part of your bail condition.
Right.
What do you mean you can't speak to his wife?
Draconian.
You can't talk to her on the phone. You can't see her. You can't speak to her. What is this? That sounds like something Saddam Hussein would, put as a bail condition, or North Korea.
Yeah, real quick. Can Can you give us a brief background on Carlos Ghosn? Was he just some guy who was tagging walls, spray painting in Harajuku in Japan?
No, good point, Dave. Carlos Ghosn was the chairman of Nissan, Renault, and Mitsubishi all at the same time. And it's my understanding that part of this was set up because Renault, a French company, was taking over a large portion of Nissan, their shares. And from internally, this had been going on, this investigation that they had set up against Carlos and Greg Kelly, the American attorney for him, which ultimately resulted in a coup d'etat, if you will, where Carlos went into Tokyo and Greg Kelly came in because they said it was an emergency meeting. They'll send a corporate jet for him. Greg Kelly said, I really can't because I got to have back surgery in a couple of days and Thanksgiving's coming up. They said, please, 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 please. Sent the plane over. He did, the honorable thing and said, yes, if there's work to be done, I'll do it. Jumped on a plane, went over there. They arrested them both. Threw them both in solitary confinement. And Greg Kelly, short end of it, they charged him with four different crimes. 3.5 years later, his trial happened. And he was found guilty only one, 3 not guilty. So I don't know if he was really guilty that one. Or maybe they're just trying to save face.
What were they charging?
Anyway, it took 3.5 years. I don't know. I don't know what the crimes were, like misuse of funds or something along those lines. And violation of the confidence of the shareholders, or misappropriation of money. Things like this. So, but anyways, you're going to put people in solitary confinement and torture them for this. So that's what they did. They did it to them. So anyways, they asked me to help. I met with the wife several times. Wonderful lady. And ended up saying, okay, I'll do it. I'll get him out. Remember at the time, I was still bitter and pissed off about my experience. And I thought it was very unfair. And today I think it's unfair. And I'd sit with the judge and tell the judge that, and tell the prosecutor knows it. Prosecutor called one of my attorneys afterwards, said, we're so sorry about this, so many mistakes. Bullshit. If you're sorry, you stand up and do the right thing, you bunch of cowards. Anyways, I felt bad, and I said, I'll do it. I'll get the guy out. And I did. I got him out. I planned it. The operation was absolutely perfect. It was smooth, without a glitch. And I pulled him out like I said I would do, and he's free and clear in Lebanon, living a life.
Can you share the details of how you got him out? Are you willing to do that?
Sure. Well, he's so well known. Everywhere he goes, somebody knows him. He goes to have a dinner somewhere, a lunch. Everybody, hello, Mr. Ghosn. They call him Ghosn over there, Mr. Ghosn. He's a guy that I think he was born in Lebanon, raised some in Brazil. And he's got the French citizenship also. So he's a Lebanese citizen, Brazilian citizen, and French citizenship. So I couldn't just walk him on an airplane and get him out because he's so well known. So I came up with a plan where I got to hide him. So I thought about a mask. Mask is not going to work. I said, okay, I got the idea. I'll rent lease an aircraft. I'll fly over there. Take a music box, that they use for stage hands, the stage boxes. I'll build one of those. I've got to make sure it's custom built so it fits in the cargo of the airplane. Got to make sure I check which airplane I'm getting so I know the cargo size to fit it in properly. I had it so it was only about 1 centimeter, the box 1 centimeter short enough to fit in, so it fit in perfect. And then I'll go over, and he's in Tokyo. I'll land in Osaka because I did the vulnerability assessment on the airports. There's no security on the way out in Japan, only on the way in. No security. And I made the box big enough anyway where it wouldn't fit through the x-ray machines, their x-ray machines, because the box was too big. And I left it open. No locks on it. You put locks on it, what do people think? Must be some important shit in there. Don't put a lock on it. So I landed in Osaka. I took the boxes to my hotel, checked in, put the boxes there. The Japanese cargo people from the private airport are the ones that moved it for me. And I jumped on a bullet train, went to Tokyo, linked up with Carlos. Let's go. U.S. Special Forces here to rescue you. Let's go home. Put him on a train, went back. He had a mask, glasses, and a hat. And everybody over in Japan wears the mask. Right. This was before COVID hit. And but they still wore masks. And took the 3-hour train ride back.
Now, was he on house arrest at the time? Or
No. He was just on bail.
Okay.
So he could travel anywhere within the country for, I think it was like 48 or 72 hours without telling a prosecutor, as long as he stayed within the jurisdiction of Japan. Mm-hmm. So he could travel around there. So being on the train is not a big deal. So what? He's on a train. So he went down to Osaka on the bullet train. The bullet trains are great, by the way. They're smooth and they're fast. A little bit crowded. And the food they sell on it's horrible. Went into my hotel where he still had his camouflage on. Said, okay, we're going to leave at 2200. That's 10 o'clock for non-military people. And I said, okay, we're going to wait a little bit. The people from the airport showed up in the vans at 10 p.m. So we're going to wait so we can be a little bit late. Now, I had gone over to the airport about an hour before at 9 o'clock to tell the lady, the manager, we got to make sure that we leave on time. I can't be late because I got an important meeting in Istanbul. I was looking for surveillance or any extra law enforcement or anything going on. That's what I was doing a recon. And then I went back to the hotel, saw him. The people were there. I said, let him wait. We got to be late. So we're late. Japanese are very, very punctual. Everything's SOP. They don't think outside the box. If it's not in the SOP, we're in deep shit. That's how they are. Mm-hmm. They're just like robots. And of course, in the SF mentality, it's just the opposite. So we're going to be intentionally late. I tell them we're going to be like 12 minutes late. So they're downstairs, going through a panic. And I said, okay, now we can go. Get in the box. I threw a bed sheet on them, shut the box, rolled them downstairs.
You give him a bottle of water, some food?
No. I had drilled holes in there. He don't need food. He's not going to be there very long. Yeah. I don't need any food. So, and then he might be drinking. Then he's going to piss.
Right.
Then we got a problem.
Right.
But so I had drilled holes in the bottom so he could breathe. So there's plenty of oxygen. So then I rolled him downstairs, put him in the elevator, went to the lobby. The Japanese people took the case. They couldn't lift it and put it in the back of the van. So I'm the VIP. I'm the guy with the private jet. I'm not supposed to be doing this stuff. I'm supposed to be, somebody special. So I got like 8 Japanese guys on one side. I'm on the other side. We lift the box up because Carlos was in it. Mm-hmm. So we lift the box up. They couldn't get it in the van. So we finally get it in the van, shut the door, jump into 2 vans, and we go back to the airport. It's great. Everything's there. The same immigration guy that was there in the morning, we arrived at 10 in the morning, 9:30, 10, was there. Same policeman with a nasty little old revolver, looked like it came out of World War II, still there. And that was it. And, I threw my rucksack on the x-ray machine, say, hey, let's go. And said, no, you guys are in a hurry. Besides, no screening, no security check on the outside. When you guys are leaving, no security check. I said, okay, great, let's go. Pushed the big box with Carlos in it, and I had another smaller box. Pushed the 2 boxes through from in the van on the airplane. The jet was a Global Express. They put the conveyor belt for the luggage up to it. There's about a 3-foot gap here. They didn't know how to drive the conveyor belt very well. Mm-hmm. So there's a guy, a little Japanese kid, that goes into cargo. He's trying to lift the box. He's got a better chance of having lunch with God than lifting that box. So I tell him, hey, Hop Singh, come here. Go over there. You get out of here. Get out. So I lift the box up, and I got like 8 Japanese pushing the other side. So we had to get over that 3-foot gap. We got it in, no problem. Sit in. I had the pilot, hey, come shut this door, make sure it's sealed properly. So the pilot shut the door, we're good to go. Okay, I knock on the box, that was our code, that everything's okay. And plus he can hear what's going on, and I'm talking loud enough so he can hear. He's inside the box. So we button up. Now it's probably about, I had asked the pilots also earlier, can we leave at 22:30? We're supposed to leave at 2300. I said, can we leave at 22:30? They said, okay. No problem. So we're buttoned up by 20 minutes past 10 p.m. And I said, we leaving in 5 minutes? They said, no, Tower won't allow us because we filed the flight plan to leave at 11. They will make us wait till 11. I said, oh, bastards. So we couldn't even turn the engines on. So it was about 10:45. We were allowed to turn the engines on.
Meanwhile, is Carlos still down in the hold?
No.
Okay, you got it.
Well, look, he's in a cargo, but the cargo is here. Then the bathroom's here, and then the cabin's here. It's all on the same deck.
Oh, it's not like
it's
a belly.
No. It's all on the same deck.
Yeah.
But what happened was once we sealed the door and we got everybody off the airplane and shut that door, I lifted the box Carlos was in. I said, sit tight until we take off.
Right.
Everything's good. We're golden. Don't worry. And I put a towel in there, a bathroom towel, just to keep the lid open a little bit more because it was tight back there in the cargo area. So I did that, and then we got wheels up right at 11. They let us right at 2300. We were wheels up. See you later. Okay. And I went back to the bathroom, just a little bathroom, and to open it up. And Carlos had gotten himself out of the box and was sitting on top of it. I said, okay, great. I said, we're good to go, buddy. All done. So it was probably about, I said, just sit here. Give me a few minutes till we get stable at like 30,000 feet. Wait a few minutes. So we get up to 34,000 feet, cruising speed. And I already told them, look, don't go over Europe, go over Russia, over China and Russia. Because if we have the emergency, we got to go down. I'd rather go down in Russia or China because they don't like Japan. So we should be okay there. So anyways, that's the flight path we took. And then once we got stable at cruising altitude at 34,000, I went back and said, come on out. He came out and, sat and we were talking and done deal. Get to Istanbul, Turkey, bright and early, like dark 30, maybe 04-ish. I had another aircraft there waiting for him, a smaller private jet. I put him in it and transferred him. He went with, one other guy, a local Turk, and off to Lebanon he went. And I went over to the commercial airport. Took about a 40-minute ride to the commercial airport. I got my visa at the private airport. Went over to the commercial airport, jumped on a commercial flight, went into Beirut. Mission was a success.
And so Carlos pops up in Beirut, like how long after the rescue? Because, this became like a huge international news story, like pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'll say. I pulled him out on December 29th.